have entered Alyx's world, a safe space for wrestling fans like you.
Hello all and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I am your host Alyx, just Alyx, and this is your WWE King and Queen of the Ring 2024 full show review live here on YouTube. Thank you all so much for being here. That live chat unfortunately is going to have to go away for this particular live stream because I could not fit a live chat cover for this particular, hold on, let me see. Maybe I could, if I was to fit in this small corner, with that, you can barely see that. You guys got your own screen, don't worry. We'll bring back the live chat portion of the cover in my AEW review. I apologize, I could not fit it in for this one, but you will have your screen to get your shine, I promise. Other than that, thank you all so much for being here. We are middle of the day, the afternoon, late afternoon, but the afternoon, reviewing a wrestling show. Feels kind of good. That's one of the upsides of doing these foreign shows. I get to get my review out, watch the show early, and then spend the rest of my night for myself. So will you guys. So I do hope this continues. Part of the reason why I'm very happy with WWE doing these live streams, these live shows. I do a live stream, but they do stream on Peacock. These pay-per-views, PLEs, on Saturday. Do it in the middle of the day, and you have the rest of your Saturday night to just chill. Or do whatever you want. Sleep, eat. I don't know. Do what comes naturally to you. And what's also crazy about this particular event, because it was in Saudi Arabia. If you've been watching me for an extended period of time, you will know that I have a visceral reaction to WWE performing in Saudi Arabia. It has nothing to do with the fans. It has nothing to do, in particular, with WWE and their business. Here's the thing. So, we all know why Vince McMahon went to Saudi Arabia, why we started this venture in 2018-ish. We'll go with that, 2018. Vince went here because he was getting thrown a lot of money to continue producing crappy TV. And don't lie to yourselves. Don't sit there behind that screen and act like 2000, I dare say 11, probably 9, from 2009 to about early 2022, WWE Television Weekly wasn't crap. It was garbage. Absolutely abysmal. Abysmal 3 hours of Raw, abysmal 2 hours of SmackDown. And here comes Saudi Arabia throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at Vince McMahon to continue producing crappy TV. And all it did was just confirm and enable him to keep giving us shit. Because why would he change when he was getting $100 million? And all we got from these Saudi Arabia shows was glorified house shows. There was no storyline advancement. There was no championship changes. It was big stars to please the prince. That's all it was. And I hated the shows because of that. Now that Vince is gone, and of course his cronies are also gone with him, maybe other than Bruce Pritchard and maybe a few others, but now that he's left, and it's just Triple H and Nick Khan and others going to this foreign country to produce wrestling television, where they do have title changes, where they do advance storylines, I'm not bothered by it no more. Because it's a completely different era. It's a whole new approach. I'm pretty sure when the contract runs out, I don't know when it runs out with Saudi Arabia, I seriously doubt the WWE is going to renew it. I'll be surprised. Well, would I be surprised? Because Nick Khan wants that money. All right, I'll be honest with you. If they were to renew their deal with Saudi Arabia, I won't lie. It wouldn't surprise me because these guys are money hungry, right? Regardless if they renew it or they don't, I'm not that bothered by them performing in Saudi Arabia now. And I gotta say, in terms of shows being held in Saudi Arabia, I've only seen maybe 3 or 4. The other ones I skipped on purpose. Purposely skipped. You know, because I was that kind of guy that was rebelling against Vince McMahon and his tyranny. But of the shows I've watched in Saudi Arabia, I think this is one of their best ones. This was a great show. Awesome in-ring action, top to bottom. Not a bad match on the entire card. Even the pre-show was good. I noticed a lot of people saying Jade Cargill's match wasn't all that great. There were a couple of clunky moments. You're going to have that when you have Indy Hartwell in your match. Indy Hartwell's not great. And look, I'm not going to sit here and act like Jade is perfect either. But I hate the fact that when a match is not good, if Jade Cargill just so happens to be in it, she instantly gets the blame. As if there's no other people that can make that match suck. I hate that. It's not cool at all. I thought the match was good. It was a fine performance by Jade Cargill. She was massively over in Saudi Arabia, as she is in other cities as well. And now I'm starting to think that, okay, maybe Triple H was right to move her up to the main roster. I don't think I'm going to invest in that viewpoint yet. I still kind of feel like she should have just started off on NXT and cleaned herself up just a tad bit more before moving her up to the main roster. Over time, clearly that will be determined. She's doing great right now, but she just got here. All right, WrestleMania wasn't that long ago. It was like 2 months ago. We'll see how things work out as we get into SummerSlam and she becomes women's champ. We get her away from Bianca Belair because she's doing tag matches right now. And then when she does singles matches, they're very short to the point. When she becomes champion, that's going to be a true test of how great she is. But that's neither here or there. Tonight, we're not talking about Jade Cargill becoming women's champion. We're talking about Liv Morgan becoming your new women's world champion. I guess we can officially say the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour has been completed. She has not only taken Rhea Ripley's career, technically, her career away from her, and stripped her of the world title. She's also taken that world title from her and could potentially be taking her man. We'll talk about that in a second. Oh, Dominic Mysterio inadvertently helped Liv Morgan win the championship. Okay. Anyone else call that bullshit? Total bullshit. We know what's going on. He's inadvertently helping her win, only to then actually help her win when Rhea Ripley gets back. You know that's going to happen, right? He's going to act like that he's not trying to help her, only for her to help her. For real, for real. But, man, look here. I'm excited to really delve deep into this storyline with Liv Morgan and, of course, Rhea Ripley when she comes back, Dominic Mysterio. And I guess Becky Lynch, because she ain't going nowhere. Those of you who didn't see it, Becky Lynch cashed in her rematch clause. Yes, rematch clauses are back. That's a new wrinkle. They just added that back out of nowhere. Cool. I don't care. Here's the thing. Rematch clauses never bothered me. I guess for certain fans, it was an excuse for lazy booking. And when WWE got rid of it in 2019-ish, it was around the time they were mad at Baron Corbin. And they put the blame on the show sucking on Baron Corbin. What was that? 2019, Actually, that was 2018, right? Either 2018, 2019, I can't remember. One of those, right? Well, when they put the blame on him, they said, we're going to shake things up again. More creativity. And it still sucked. That was 2018. Thank you. I appreciate that. So now that it's back, I trust Triple H and creative, this new regime, to make it work. So there's that. We had an excellent triple threat match for the IC Championship. Sami Zayn retained with a little help from Otis, inadvertently. Now this one was inadvertently. Although I'm sure Otis felt good clotheslining Chad Gable. But this was... I truly believe this was an example, a prime example of why it's just good for people, especially me, I'm speaking for myself, it's just good for people to weigh it out. And I got so tired of hearing people say, just shut up and watch, wait it out, let the storyline play out, right? Because it was being done under Vince McMahon. And anytime we let the storyline play out with Vince McMahon, it always just fell flat. Always. I think that applies more so now with Triple H. I feel like we can say, hey, let the storyline play out when it comes to Chad Gable not getting his WrestleMania opportunity and seeing where it heads to now. Is there a side of me that feels he should have still gotten that big babyface victory? Yes. But as time goes by, Sami Zayn is proving to be a hot commodity. Well, he's already proven that, but he's proving it more and more to be a strong hot commodity for WWE, especially for these foreign markets. He was massively over here in Saudi Arabia. He was massively over in France. He's going to be massively over in every other foreign country they go to. And even like Canada and Puerto Rico. He's going to be over when you go out of the States. As over as he is in the States, he's going to be even more over when you go out of those States. And that's incredible. You want that in a champion. And so over time, we're starting to see why Sami Zayn got that spotlight and not Chad Gable. Even though I'm pretty sure Triple H and company knew, all right, fans are probably not going to like the fact that Sami is getting this opportunity and not Chad. But they're making up for it. You know they're going to make up for it. Because Sami Zayn retained his IC championship, but not by pinning Chad Gable. He pinned Bronson Reed. So, that takes Bronson Reed out of the title picture and just leaves Chad Gable and Sami Zayn because Chad Gable pinned Sami Zayn last night. Well, not last night, but last week on Raw. Not even last week. Last Raw! Whenever you're watching this, it was probably last week. Can't be last night because that's literally impossible. But you get what I mean. I just personally feel like, for me in particular, and I do want to make this very, very clear. And apparently we're getting some WWE, what do you call them? Wyatt 6 coding in the live chat. So have fun with that. I don't even know if that's WWE. It's probably a troll account. Or it might be WWE. Doesn't look like it. People are saying that is WWE. Okay, sure. Because WWE really watches me. Wait, do they? Hey, Hunter. What's good, man? Hit me up. Nah, they wouldn't watch me. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this story with Chad Gable and Sami Zayn takes us next. Because you know, Chad has to get that title now. He's too hot. Way too hot. Now, we were crowned new Queen and King of the Rings. Congratulations to Nia Jax. Huh? Nia Jax will be becoming the 2024 Queen of the Ring. And Gunther. Gunther becoming the 2024 King of the Ring. They will receive championship opportunities. Interesting choices. Both of them heels. Now, usually, if you're doing King of the Ring, and unless my history is failing me, a majority of the King of the Ring winners were heels, right? Based off of my memory. Yeah. Triple H. Stone Cold Steve Austin was a heel when he wanted. Owen Hart, Mabel. Kurt Angle. I mean, Edge won it at one point. Yeah, they were all heels. So I guess this is just part of the course. I gotta say, though, while I suspected Nia Jax was gonna win, there was a side of me that was kind of leaning towards, well, maybe Lyra might shock the world here, because you know Triple H likes his swerves. But when she won, and she won with that fatality of an Annihilator, that was devastatingly cruel how she beat Lyra Valkyria. That was screwed up. Booker T, he was a heel, King of the Ring, so there you go. Very, very, very few faces win King of the Ring. But Nia Jax absolutely obliterated Lyra Valkyria with that Annihilator. That was just screwed up. Absolutely fucked up, but in the best way. And I gotta say, I've eased up on Nia Jax because I feel like since she came back for her second run, she's been booked almost, dare I say, perfectly. She loses when she needs to lose, but she also wins when she has to. She has clean victories over Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch. And there's only been, I think, 2 other women to do that, right? Rhea Ripley, and I think Asuka. I don't think Charlotte Flair has a clean victory over Bianca Belair yet. She could be getting that very, very soon. But the only 2 that I remember, you might have to give me another one, is Asuka and Rhea Ripley. So Nia Jax now joins that list. Huge. And I think because she's more comfortable with this role and they're booking her strong now, her personality doesn't piss me off as much. So I think she's a great and absolutely fantastic choice to be Queen of the Ring. So you already know she's going to be fighting Bayley at SummerSlam. And by the looks of things, unless Bayley gets some kind of interest back into her title reign, because I'm not going to lie, ever since Bayley won that title, she hasn't been all that interesting. I was kind of hoping they would be doing something with her as champ, but they really aren't doing much with her. She's just kind of there. If that's going to be the case, they might take the belt off of her and put it on Nia Jax, and you already know what's coming next, right? Because Nia Jax might be Queen of the Ring, but she can't be the Queen until she beats the Queen. Woo! You know it's coming. Ladies and gentlemen, your Queen Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax, WrestleMania 41. Let's go, baby! Let's go! Oh, they gonna be pissed. You know those internet fans are gonna be furious. And just you wait. If you thought that Charlotte Flair was getting too much of a push, was overpushed, and of course, overbooked under Vince McMahon, ooh, y'all not ready. Y'all ain't ready. Ready, Freddy? Y'all ain't ready for Triple H. Because Triple H is a bigger fan, an even bigger fan of Charlotte. I'm just letting you know right now. Gunther! King Gunther is now your new King of the Ring. He did it by beating Randy Orton, although the finish was botched or controversial. I kind of feel like, this is just my opinion, that was one of those, alright, that wasn't supposed to happen, but they're going to play it up as if it was supposed to happen. So Randy will get something out of that. Don't know what it is. They might just give him a title match against Randy Orton. I don't know. A title match against himself. A title match against Cody Rhodes. Well, I don't know. Who does Cody Rhodes face? I mean, you still got AJ. There's that storyline with AJ and his, his contract coming up, so they might give it to him. We'll see. Because right now, Cody doesn't have an opponent going into Clash of the Castle or SummerSlam. Or Money in the Bank. And it just feels like he's just kind of... That's another one, like Bayley, who's just kind of floundering. Doesn't really have a direction right now. Until The Rock comes back. And then when we do Rock and Cody at SummerSlam, then it's like, all right, now what do you do with him? Because I don't see Cody dropping the belt to The Rock. So Cody beats Rock at SummerSlam or whenever. All right, what, you go right into Randy Orton? Maybe you do Solo? I don't know. Something to think about. Definitely something to consider for, you know, for the future of WWE. But I feel the same way about Bayley as I do Cody. You do this great story, getting into the title. They win the championship, and it's like, okay, now what? Which is exactly what I was exactly what I said was going to happen when Cody won the championship. But he's hot. He's hot. He's on fire. So we'll see. Gunther will now go on to face the winner of Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle in June. I am assuming Drew wins the belt, so we'll do Drew and Gunther. And then maybe we'll do a fatal four-way with Drew, Gunther, CM Punk, and Damian Priest at SummerSlam. That feels like the direction they want to go in. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that one. Cody Rhodes took on Logan Paul, the United States champ who didn't put his championship on the line, that little bitch. Match was awesome, as you would expect. Logan Paul and Cody Rhodes seem like they are a natural fit for one another. But once again, it's just someone to feed to Cody, just like AJ Styles was. They're not necessarily, in my opinion, they're not necessarily people who I felt was ever going to be Cody, which is not a bad thing. I just I just have a problem. Now that we built Cody up so much, there aren't a lot of people who can believably beat him. And that's going to create issues in terms of interest and hype and excitement for your shows. Will the matches be good to great to awesome? 1,000%. But it's not going to matter if fans don't care about it. And that's part of the reason why I was sitting here trying to make the case of, look, maybe we should really consider whether or not Cody is ready for that belt. Well, he's here. I mean, we're still in the honeymoon period. By the time we get to SummerSlam, we'll find out. Well, actually, I said 6 months, right? Survivor Series. We'll find out how fans are feeling about Cody by that point. But in the meantime, you know, he's going to keep beating people until he gets to The Rock. And then maybe he'll lose the belt to The Rock, or maybe he won't. It depends on when they do it and how they do it. I have a feeling that Cody's going to beat The Rock. So it's not even going to matter. Although we could have The Rock beat him, but that's a completely different conversation. We'll talk about that when we get to The Rock and Cody. When Rock comes back and we're looking at Cody versus The Rock, we'll then start spitting, right? We'll then start spitting about a potential Rock versus Cody match. And then the outcome of The Rock beating him, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, that was basically it. It was a great show for wrestling. In terms of storylines going forward, yeah, Queen, King of the Ring, Liv becoming champ, Chad Gable and Sammy, not much for Cody. So like every other match was like a continuation of a storyline or the setup for a storyline, and then Cody just beats Logan Paul and nothing got set up. I mean, at the very least, I would have hoped that LA Knight, who was there, would have interfered to help Cody keep his belt. But some other dude did. So now I'm like, okay, so what did this match do? Like seriously, in all honesty, was the match awesome? Yes. But what did Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes do long term? At the very least, AJ versus Cody was a setup for AJ's storyline right now, where he's talking about he doesn't have enough time left in his contract, right? So there's at least some story to that match. Here, I'm like, Cody just beat Logan Paul. All right, now what? What did that do? It didn't really advance much. People are not, they're not thinking about that when it comes to Cody Rhodes. You're just happy that he's champion. I'm happy that he's champ too, but I'm also thinking about, well, I want him to be remembered as a champ. Will you remember Cody as a champion, or will you just remember the title reign? As much as I love Daniel Bryan, that was his issue. Like Daniel Bryan, we remember his championship victory, right? But we don't remember the reign because he got injured and then he left. I don't want that. I want people to remember the reign. But I don't think that's going to happen with Cody. I think he's someone that people will appreciate in terms of the victory from WrestleMania, but not necessarily the championship reign. But that can all change with the right storytelling. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get into the actual review. Just wanted to welcome you guys to my live stream. I do appreciate you for joining me on this afternoon. You could be watching any other live review here on YouTube. You chose me, and I am grateful for that. So I'm going to give you the best show possible. But we got to get to the sponsorship. We got to get to the shout-outs. We got to do the plugs and all that kind of stuff. So if this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, your edits help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership, click that join button, and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks. If you would like to donate after the fact, you can also let me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at just Alyx Central. Give me a follow on Instagram, give me a follow on Spotify, give me a follow on Cameo, give me a follow on Threads, and give me a follow on TikTok, for I am the tickest of the talkest. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo, and yes, Super Chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justAlyxisworld@gmail.com for business inquiries, just to say hi, and get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Get you an old school Deluxe Man t-shirt, get you a new school Alyx Is World t-shirt, but most importantly, get you a blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie, America, the remix t-shirt. This is a final call, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing away with blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie t-shirts. We made this announcement in the last stream, I believe, which was Backlash. We are doing away with the t-shirt. We will be introducing new merchandise around, hopefully, SummerSlam. So if you want to get you a blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie t-shirt, there is a limited time now. Get it while it's here, because you might not see it in the future. And thank you all so much to the people who are fans, who are buying the merchandise. I really do appreciate that. Today's sponsor is SeatGeek. SeatGeek, ladies and gentlemen, wants to offer you a discount on any ticket purchase from their app. All you gotta do is after you purchase your ticket, use the promo code JustAlyx, and you will get $20 off any ticket purchase that you want. Now, if that's something you like and you want more details, then let's get a quick word from our sponsor. Then we'll get into some shout out. Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. If you're a wrestling fan looking for access to great seats for any wrestling event near you, then you want to use this app. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek stands as the unrivaled #1 ticketing app in the market today. SeatGeek constantly delivers incredible deals on ticket prices. When you're exploring the app, keep an eye out for the special green dots that mark the best deals. What's even better is that every ticket you purchase is backed by SeatGeek's buyer guarantee, with the option to return your tickets and even swap them before the events. So here's an exclusive for you. If you click the link down below and use the promo code JustAlyx, you can get $20 off your first purchase. Yes, $20 off any ticket that you purchase using the promo code JustAlyx. This is a sweet deal that you could use literally right now. So don't wait. Click the link, download the app, and join the SeatGeek family today. Thank you all so much for joining me for this live stream. You already know what to do. Show some love to the moderators. Ultra, Shawn Nice and Firestar Heart, Elias, Ademi, New Japan Pro Wrestling Girl, Khalil does everything, and of course, Big Game GM, because they help keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you. And I can't forget about the newest mod. You know him, you love him. Highway Dylan Danger. Dylan Danger, thank you so much for what you do. Also, ladies and gentlemen, be sure you like the video. The more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. So help boost that algorithm by hitting that like button. Is that King Mike Todd's I see, ladies and gentlemen, former King Mike Todd Super Chat champion is in the building. Thank you so much for being here, man. It's always good to have regulars showing up for my live stream. He's been gone for a minute. You know, during this time period, like I tell y'all, during this time period when wrestling is past WrestleMania season, people take breaks. And then towards the summer, they start coming back. So I'm expecting more people to start coming back around the summer. And I do want people to know, if you're seeing less numbers than usual, apparently it's across the board. Everybody's numbers are down. But mine are down because around this point in time, I take breaks from live streams anyways. And I pick it up around the summer when things get hot. But this time around, because WWE is still hot, in my opinion, it's still very, very hot. It's still on arenas. And even though storylines are either starting over or they're, you know, building in the midst of still building and cooking, or ending and starting new ones, you know, I feel like I'm going to keep the live streams going simply because wrestling is still very, very, very the thing right now. So, I want to let that be known that even though when things are not hot like I want them to be, I ain't going nowhere. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and get these shout outs out the way. I see Rickety from A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. Good to have you here, Rickety. Darcy Chatham. Ethan Sakarbach. Foo the Fool. That's a new one. They gave Morgan the belt. W. Yes, sir. They gave her the belt. Sean Swaby. Baby! Is in his house. JJ. Who let the dogs out? Who? JJ Bulldog. I see. Let me scroll down a little bit. Debit. Money. Debit Money Adams in his house. I also see Shaw Yee Shrael. Scroll down a little bit faster here. Is that Catherine Tega? What's going on, Miss Catherine Tega? I'm not mad at SummerSlam coming to Minnesota. Yeah, that's SummerSlam 2026, right? Not 2025. 2026. Now, I don't know what they're doing for next year's SummerSlam. I wasn't sure of where they were going to go, or have they even announced it yet? I don't think they have. But regardless, yeah, SummerSlam in 2026 is going to be 2 nights. I'll have more thoughts about that as we get closer to the event. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm not against it, but I'm not for it either. And I'll tell you why in a future video. Lee Mexico, Shadow Star, Travis Cunningham, also known as Travis the Gaming Snorlax, changed his name up. Jordan Williams, Trail Mix 96. Ooh, good name. Trail Mix 96. It's Yo Pink Panther. And last, we're going to give it to Joker for Persona 5. All right, thank you all so much for being here. We're going to go ahead and move things along. If I don't say your name, it ain't because I hate you. I do want to go ahead and get to this live review and let y'all get to the rest of your day. King and Queen of the Ring. The return of King of the Ring with the addition of Queen of the Ring. Man, it was a rough ride getting here. Tons of injuries. Put a lot of people out. Asuka, Bobby who? Well, Bobby Lashley, Zelina Vega, Xavier Woods, just to name a few. A lot of people could not enter this. And unfortunately, you know, it led to some matches not being as hype. Regardless of the way things turned out, I still thought overall both tournaments were done very well. They were able to get over multiple people, Lyra Valkyria, ultimately Nia Jax, and then of course Gunther.
Brock at SS? And where is SS25 going to be at?
We'll have to find out later. Don't know about Brock being at SummerSlam, though. Might be a little too soon, but we'll see. But, I love the fact that we were able to establish people with this tournament, which is the ultimate purpose of a tournament like this. Even if you don't win, do you come out of it looking stronger than ever? Yeah. And for me, at the end of the day, what they did with this tournament is going to do great things, ultimately, for WWE long term, especially with the winners. And we'll talk about them in a second. We'll give each one an ample amount of time. But we'll start things off with the pre-show. So we opened up on the pre-show with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair taking on Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. I thought this match was kind of weird. Like, didn't Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark win an opportunity? I would have thought they would have gotten this. But you know what? I did feel like if they were going to do that match, it should be on the actual card. So they'll probably save that for Clash at the Castle, right? And that crowd's going to be even hotter than the crowd we got tonight. So ultimately, I feel like this match was just kind of there to give Jade and Bianca a spot on the card. Because no one in their right mind believed Candice and Indy were going to be winning any titles anytime soon. Now, for me, the match was fine. I loved the finisher, this awesome DDT into a German suplex double team that Jade and Bianca have. Beautiful double team, by the way. And I like that they're getting more innovative as time goes by. You want to see that in a Jade Cargill and or a Bianca Belair. I will admit, and I did see this on, of course, Twitter and Instagram and all kinds of social medias. Indy Hartwell is not good. She needs a lot of work. She got called up way too soon from NXT because of Dexter Lumis. She needs more work. There were parts in this match that were kind of clunky. What I don't like is that Jade Cargill got the brunt of that heat because she's in it. And I hate that. If you're going to knock a match, knock it for the right reasons. The people who botched or weren't very good in this match were Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae completely missed her moonshot. She overshot for some reason, overshot her moonsault, and it didn't look good. But look here. My thing is, if you're going to knock a match, knock it, but knock it for the right reason. Jade Cargill was fine. Actually, I thought she was pretty good in this match. Her and Bianca. But whatever, people are going to be mad at Jade Cargill because she's an easy target, right? Whatever. It was stupid. But yeah, I thought, for the most part, for an 8-minute match, it was fine. Wasn't terrible. Wasn't great. It was fine. And the champs retained. Now, I'm very curious to see where they go with Jade Cargill following what happened with Nia Jax. Because you already know, weeks ago when Jade Cargill got screwed out of the Queen of the Ring because of, DQ. Well, she screwed herself, but because of the DQ, we had to revisit Jade Cargill and Nia Jax. And I think that's going to be one of the big matches we build to for Clash at the Castle. Maybe even SummerSlam. We got to get back to that. Do I think Jade Cargill gets a victory over Nia Jax? You could. You could do that. I don't think we do that, though. Because if we're setting up Nia Jax to beat Bayley, which seems to be the case because Bayley ain't doing shit with that title right now, then maybe you do Jade Cargill and Nia Jax later on down the line, and you keep that heat beating. Maybe we do Jade and Nia Jax again, but we do another screwy finish. Maybe we have Nia Jax beat Jade Cargill by cheating. Nia Jax wins the title, and then we have Jade beat Nia for that title. There's many ways we can go about it, but whatever we do, we gotta get back to Jade Cargill and Nia Jax. Let's get on with the actual show. Overall, I thought the crowd there in Jeddah was great. I thought they were loud when they needed to be. They were kind of dead at certain points of the show, but man, they were hot for the right matches. They were hot for that IC title match. They were hot for Randy Orton and Gunther. They were hot for Nia Jax and Lyra Valkyria. They weren't as hot as they should have been for Cody and Logan Paul. But we already talked about that in the intro. We'll go into more details about it when we get to it. But one match they were very hot for was Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. So, these two have had many encounters in the past. I don't know why I said counters. They've had, I guess, plenty of counters in their matches. But they've had many encounters over the last, 2-3 years? For me, the best match these two had was in Houston, Texas. And that's probably me being biased because I was live for that. When they came to Raw before WrestleMania. I thought those two had an excellent match on that show. And so because of that match, I said, all right, well, they're clearly going to have great matches going forward. Something was off about this match. I don't know what it was. But the heat wasn't there. And I've been talking about this in my live streams about Becky Lynch, where I feel like she's lost her edge, where she's not really giving it her all. It kind of feels like Becky, in terms of her presentation, in terms of how she's been presented as a champ, she's a placeholder and she feels like a placeholder because she wasn't supposed to win this belt. It was supposed to be Rhea Ripley, right? And I think Rhea Ripley was supposed to drop the belt to Liv Morgan here with the help of Dominic Mysterio. And that will lead into a totally different storyline. But it feels like Becky is a placeholder. And Becky is just kind of here, just going through the motion until she can drop the belt and then, go back on vacation to spend time with her daughter. So going into this match, I'm seeing them wrestle. And I'm looking at them hit these spots, and you can tell that they're not putting their all into it. Becky is somewhat lapsadaisical and, hitting certain spots. And then there'll be those spots where they hit it perfectly. But it's not consistent. And I remember watching this while in the live stream with A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. And I made the comment like, yo, this is kind of sloppy. This isn't like the kind of match we should be getting from these two. But then I was listening to the crowd. The crowd loved it. The live chat I was in loved it. The people on Twitter, for the most part, loved it. They were really enjoying the match. And so I took a step back and went, this is one of those instances where me being who I am is potentially harming everyone's experience. So I'ma just wait until now, like I did, to express my opinion, and then let people enjoy it. Because ultimately, what matters is people got their money's worth, right? Now, despite the actual in-ring action being kinda sloppy and not up to standard as I would like it to be, when Dominic Mysterio came out, then the match just got taken to a whole new level. Because now it's story being added. And you see Dominic Mysterio pretending, let's just call it like it is, pretending to help Becky Lynch by sliding in that chair. Let's be real. When Dominic Mysterio came face to face with Liv Morgan during the pre-show, we all knew what was about to happen. So he inadvertently helped Liv Morgan beat Becky because he slides in the chair. Liv hits a DDT on the chair and then does the Oblivion, which no one has kicked out of, by the way, and pins Becky Lynch 1, 2, 3 to become your new Women's World Champion. And you got Dom on the outside going, oh no, what did I do? Oh no, I tried to stop her, but I screwed it up. Oh no. Ain't no one buying this shit. We know they're in cahoots. But that's the story, right? The story is Dom is gonna inadvertently help Liv Morgan retain the championship over and over and over and over and over again until Liv fights Rhea Ripley. And then he, on purpose, helps Liv Morgan beat Rhea Ripley. We already see that coming, right? Y'all do know that Rhea can't just beat Liv Morgan on the return. Nah, because that would be lame. Super lame. What needs to happen is that Liv needs to keep that heat on her. So I'm saying, this is what I think they should do. We do the long-term story. Rhea does come back at SummerSlam. They do the match with Liv and Rhea. And Dom helps Liv beat Rhea. And then we do this whole storyline where we can carry it if you wanted to. If you really, really wanted to. You could get this to WrestleMania 41. This is that kind of story because it's a multi-year kind of feud where Rhea is chasing Liv. I would definitely be into that. Because ultimately, I think originally it was just supposed to be a SummerSlam feud where Dom helps Liv beat Rhea and then Rhea gets the championship back. But now that Rhea's going to be gone and I'm now seeing the potential of Liv Morgan as champion. Because I think Liv has shown a ton of growth and a ton of improvement as a performer. Not just inside the ring, but also on the microphone and as a character. And she's still steadily getting better and better and better. When you're as good as Liv is right now, and you have all the heat in the world, you don't diminish that heat. You want to carry that shit. So, I'm thinking, okay, we can get Liv a lot of heat by having her, take the heat from taking out Rhea Ripley and then taking her championship and her man. But how much more heat could she get if Rhea Ripley comes back and we're thinking, oh man, Rhea's going to rip that title from Liv Morgan and Liv still retains. Oh, that's a lot of heat. That's a lot of heat. I don't know. And then you have Rhea chase her. I mean, outside of that, you could just give the belt back to Rhea Ripley, but then what? What do you do with that? I'm asking you, what do you do with that? Who does she fight? Who is she gonna fight? Lyra Valkyria? That's what I'm saying. There isn't really much for Rhea Ripley to do as champion. At least with Liv Morgan as a heel, you can do something with that. You can do a Lyra Valkyria in the interim taking on a Liv Morgan as champ. You could do other women on that roster taking on Liv Morgan as champ before we get back to Rhea Ripley as a babyface, right? And then in the meantime, we build up a Shayna Baszler. We build up a Zoe Stark. We build up other people, a Lola Vice, to come up and who could potentially beat a Rhea Ripley. Maybe we move Bianca Belair to Raw. Turn her heel. But in the meantime, while we'll definitely see Rhea eventually beat Liv Morgan for that championship, let's keep giving Liv Morgan this heat. I love that ending. I thought the ending to the match was fantastic. Perfect, even. The match itself was kind of sloppy, but the ending made up for it. So I'm going to say it was a good match. I think people will overlook the sloppiness because of that ending. Next match is perhaps the match of the night. I think people are going back and forth between, all right, Sammy, Bronson Reed, Gable, Randy Orton, Gunther. I think, for me, this is the match of the night. I thought all three men were, oh my God, the stuff they did inside the ring. Let me just say this. Sami Zayn is an international sensation. I now understand why they put the belt on Sammy and not Chad Gable. Because it took me a while. I was one of the people very upset that Chad did not get his opportunity or get his moment at WrestleMania. But I didn't have the vision that a Nick Khan and or Triple H has. They're saying, look, okay, we could put that belt on Chad Gable, but is he going to be as over with the international audience as a Sami Zayn is when he's the champ, right? Because they're talking about getting Sami Zayn over to France, over to Saudi Arabia, over to Glasgow. a plethora of other international shows. Who's going to be more over? Sammy or Chad Gable? Sammy. And this was a situation where anyone telling me, okay, Alyx, let it play out, you would have been in the right. Because what they're doing with Chad Gable now is some of the best television I've seen from WWE. He is the kind of heel that you want to like him. You want to love him. But he's so good at being hateable that you hate him. You hate that about him. You see him come out. You see Otis on one side, but then you have fine-ass Maxine Dupree coming out, and he said, man, get your ass in the back. What you doing out here? You're going to screw things up. Sorry, you can't see her tonight. Bye. Man, this guy's abusive as hell. He really is, but it's part of the reason why he's a good heel. So, you got that happening. And then you have, of course, Bronson Reed, who, let's just be real, he was just there to take the pinfall, but I'm not going to lie. Bronson Reed looked amazing in this match. He looked awesome. And, of course, the superstar of the evening, Sami Zayn. When Sami Zayn had that video package, and he's Syrian, right? Syrian. He talked about his Syrian heritage. And then he comes out, and then Saudi Arabia welcomed him with open arms. That was magnifique. Magnifique, come on. You can't hate this love. The kind of love that Sammy got tonight is the kind of love I want to see more of for certain wrestlers in WWE. He was a superstar, megastar here tonight. And the match, where do I even start? Where do I start with the match? Okay, so fast-paced altogether. It was non-stop action. Chad Gable in these counters into the ankle locks, man. This man can get an angle. He can get an ankle, or actually, no, I said it right. He can get an ankle lock out of any angle in the match. See what I did there? Kurt Angle. Now look, I love that he's basically mimicking his style off of Kurt Angle. Who, by the way, I love that when Chad Gable came out, the fans were chanting, "You suck" to his interest. They see it. We see it. He's imitating Kurt Angle in every single way that he could, and it's great. Love them chanting, "You suck." But the way he's able to get these ankle locks are phenomenal. Bronson Reed moving like a cruiserweight, although he's like 300 plus pounds. Homeboy did a suicide dive to the outside. That was incredible. Doing moonsaults. Sami Zayn hit a thunder bomb on him. Blue thunder bomb. Thunder bomb, blue thunder bomb, whatever you want to call it. That shit was hot. Excuse me. Man, let me tell y'all something. If Bronson Reed keeps performing like this, it's not going to take me long. It ain't going to take me long at all to become a big fan of his. I'm already a fan of his. I'm not a fan of him as he is now. As time goes by, we add a little bit more steak to the sizzle. You know, add maybe a little more sizzle to the steak. Let me flip that around. Add a little bit more sizzle to the steak. I can see myself becoming a big fan of his. Right now, he's just fodder for talent, and that's the same thing with Shinsuke Nakamura. They're just fodder for talent when they could be so much bigger. But anyways, the highlight of the match came when Chad Gable tossed Bronson Reed to the outside, and Otis got involved. And the crowd they're getting hot for Otis. They're really feeling Otis, right? And so Otis clotheslines Bronson Reed, takes him out of the match, out of the equation. But then Chad throws Sammy out, and we remember Sammy being kind to Otis, because during this time with Chad's being absolutely abusive, Sami Zayn is giving him heart. He's showing him love and kindness, which is something Otis that's what he's lacking. He hasn't been getting that from Chad. Negative reinforcement. When you have too much negative reinforcement, when you get that positive reinforcement, you latch onto it. So it makes sense that he was hesitant to clothesline Sammy. All the sense in the world. And Chad was getting angry at him. That son of a bitch Chad Gable pushed him, smacked him, and the crowd's like, oh, you better whoop his ass. Whoop his ass, Otis. So Chad lifts up Sammy. He's like, do it. Otis took a step back. That boy shook like he was hulking up. And then he, boom, accidentally hits Chad Gable because Sami Zayn ducked out of the way. And the crowd lost their minds over that moment. Otis is like shocked. He's disappointed in himself. He's looking down on Chad. I'm so sorry. Sami gets inside the ring, hits the Aluba kick on an already beaten up Bronson Reed. Perfect ending. Pins a 1, 2, 3. The crowd loses their minds. Sami Zayn overcomes the odds and remains your IC champion. Great moment. Once again, that pop was a reminder of why he was the right call. I might not have liked it when it happened. I'm not going to pretend I did like it. But I understand long term why they went with Sami Zayn. Now, here's the deal. I'm not going to like it overall if it doesn't lead to Chad Gable winning that belt. So here's the thing. When the match was over, you saw Chad Gable giving Otis that look like, you fucked up. I am going to eat you alive. You already know what's happening on Monday, right? Chad's about to fire him up. He about to cook him. They about to get roasted. About to barbecue that ass. Y'all want some barbecue Maxine Dupree? Some barbecue Dupree? Barbecue Akira Tozawa? Barbecue Akira? Barbecue Tozawa? Barbecue Otis? Put some hot sauce in that bitch. Because y'all about to get it. He about to barbecue him. And you already know what this is leading to, right? Eventually, the Alpha Academy is going to leave Chad Gable. Because the new Alpha Academy, which is the Creed brothers, and of course, Ivy Nile, will be coming in to replace him. With that said, when Otis does eventually turn on Chad Gable, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried about that. Because I'm like, ooh, does Otis stand on his own without Chad? Has he been able to stand on his own? Right? That was my ultimate issue. After seeing this pop that he got and the fan reaction he's been getting, I think he's going to be okay. I don't know how, but I think he's going to make it work somehow. I trust that Otis will make it work somehow. Thank you for subscribing, by the way. But we'll see. That's for later in the future when he actually does turn on Chad Gable. Queen of the Ring Finals. Nia Jax, taking on Lyra Valkyria. So going into this match, I think we all kind of suspected, yeah, Nia's going to win this. It just fits right with Nia more than like Lyra Valkyria, because Lyra just got here. She shouldn't be given this spot that soon. But as time went by, and she had that really good performance on Raw, you start to think, maybe they will give her the belt. I mean, the Queen of the Ring, Jesus Christ. The Queen of the Ring crown. And then maybe they'll, use that to advance her as a character. Why not establish her? Right? She debuts and wins Queen of the Ring. What a way to kick off her career. But you gotta be careful with that. You don't want to start her off too high and leave her no place to grow. So I'm happy that she at least got to the finals. That's a good way to establish her. She doesn't need to win to get over. So she got to the finals and had this really good match with Nia Jax, which is even better than her winning, actually. And I love the finish. The match itself was fine. Usual stuff. Lyra Valkyria is a small girl, and Nia is a monster. So you can't do much to her. She's an immovable force. So she tosses her around, pushes her around, while Lyra Valkyria gets hope spots, right? But the finish to this match, you see Lyra going for a turnbuckle powerbomb. And she's pulling, and she's pulling. She's trying to yank Nia Jax's big ass off of this turnbuckle. And then Nia Jax pulls her backwards, and then splat! Flattens, squashes Lyra while she's standing. That was a Mortal Kombat, what do you call those X-ray moves, right? Those X-ray moves? That was a straight up Mortal Kombat X-ray move, where you can just see her insides, her ribs just go crunched her That shit was crazy. And pinned her 1, 2, 3. Look here. I'm happy she won with that. If Lyra had kicked out of that, that would have pissed me off. That would have pissed me off. You don't kick out of a move like that. That's the kind of move that needs to be, all right, whoever she does that to, that's it. That was so good. What an ending. Great finish. And of course, Nia Jax is anointed. We're seeing Triple H come out, gives her crown. The ceremony begins. Nia Jax is carrying her crown. And then she lets people know, hey, I still don't like your asses. I don't want you to like me. You're going to hate me. Because I'm going to go take that championship from your favorite Bayley at SummerSlam. And yeah, so I can already tell that she's going to be just fine as Queen of the Ring. She is the perfect personality for this role. I believe with her in this role, she can easily, believably, beat Bayley for that championship at SummerSlam and win the belt. I can see her doing it. And I wouldn't be mad. Matter of fact, I would, with the way things are looking right now with Bayley, she's not really doing it for me. I was hoping she would be. I want to give her more, because I love Bayley and I want to give her more of an opportunity, but something's off. I don't know what it is. Something's not clicking with Bayley right now. But regardless, I don't know how y'all feel about Bayley as champion. I feel like with Nia, the way she is, the way her character has been presented, how she's been booked perfectly. This second run has been a breath of fresh air for her. Because that first run, the initial run, when she came to the main roster in 2017-ish, all the way to about, when did she get released? Whenever she got released. Horrible. Absolute garbage. Hurting everybody she came across. Now, I feel like with The Rock being in charge and Triple H also helping out, she's found a new lease on her career, a new lease on life. And the presentation is so much better. And she's actually performing better inside the ring because she's being coached better. She's being directed better. And because of that, I think her herself is willing to put in the work to improve. And she has. I can't believe I'm saying this in 2024. This is the same guy who for years said Nia Jax was one of the worst female wrestlers of all time. And here I am in 2024 basically saying, my goodness, she's amazing. So, yeah, I think she's going to be a great Queen of the Ring. And I do see her beating Bayley for that championship. I will not be upset if she beat Bayley. And here's why. Because the person who should beat her is... What? No, I'm joking. It's not going to be Charlotte. That's another thing, too. I also think if Nia Jax beats Bayley, Charlotte's not going to beat her for that title. The person to beat Nia Jax for that championship is and will be Jade Cargill. So if Nia beats Bayley, that's a great indication that, well, Jade Cargill is about to be champion soon. Yeah. Look here, Charlotte Flair. When Charlotte Flair comes back, we could take a break. I think Triple H understands right now that Charlotte Flair has won enough championships. We don't need to just put the belt right back on her. We have enough stars to where we can, all right, let's try something else. Unless the plan is to do Charlotte and Jade Cargill, which, I don't know, I'm not against that. I'm not going to sit here and say that's not a WrestleMania bout that I wouldn't want to see. I just feel like you actually have something with Nia. You actually have something with Nia Jax that I actually am excited for and I'm invested in. Let's stick with that. Let's keep her as a monster. Let's have her run through people, have her beat people clean as the queen and as champion, then have her ultimately lose to Jade Cargill. I mean, we should reward her, right? If Nia Jax is showing improvement and she's going to keep getting better, let's reward it. Yo, I'm high. Something's up with me. Why am I praising Nia Jax? You know something's wrong. Y'all know something is wrong when I'm actually praising Nia fucking Jax. What is happening right now? Next match. King of the Ring finals between Gunther, nah, 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 and Randy Orton. Once again, just like in France, Saudi Arabia serenaded Randy Orton to the ring with his theme song. I hear voices crying, I see heroes dying, I hear voices in my head. They counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. Okay, you got the idea. It was a great intro. It was long as fuck. Took him like 30 minutes to get to the ring, Randy. But it was nice seeing the crowd sing for him. So let me get this out of the way. The only bad thing about this match was the ending. There was a roll-up pin, Gunther rolling up Randy Orton, and Randy Orton's shoulders were clearly not on the mat. Clearly. Instead of, telling Gunther, hey, roll him over a little bit more so his shoulder is on the mat, they just counted 1, 2, 3 when Randy's shoulders were up. And they just played it off like they didn't see it. Now, I noticed at a little bit after that, Corey Graves was like, wait, let me play that back really quickly. So, they're going to play it into the storyline going forward. I do think Randy's going to talk about it on Friday, right? They're going to play it up as if you didn't necessarily beat Randy, you got lucky. But I don't like the fact that when it happened, they just ignored it. I don't like that. Like, next time, when his shoulders are not down like that, you could have just had Gunther pick him up and hit his finisher. Right? Don't just go along with it. I hate that. So, that was the only issue I had with that ending. I don't think it was part of the match. I think it was a botch. It was a botch. But, outside of that 3-second portion, holy goodness gracious God upon the heavens, this was immaculate. This was wrestling. I love this match. And I loved it from the sheer standpoint that they didn't do any kind of 360s, 450s, 630s, suicide dives. They didn't do anything all that spectacular in terms of athleticism. It was sheer fists, kicks, storytelling. Old school. Randy Orton loves that old school style. Randy couldn't do high flying moves. He's shown you that he can do a moonsault. He can do a crossbody. He can probably do he could probably do a shooting star press. I believe it. I think Randy could do, if he wanted to, he could do a shooting star press. But that's not what he's going to do. Randy loves old school wrestling. His dad, Bob Orton, trained him to love old school wrestling. So, when you got a guy like Gunther, who is tailor-made for Randy Orton's old school style, and they just go in there and beat the shit out of each other. The chops that Gunther gave to Randy. And all Randy had to do was just sell. Tell a story. Sell. I fucking loved it. I loved it. I was sitting here like, man, this is what it's all about. Just pure storytelling. You build them up. You have them win matches. We get to the final match, and you just let them beat the shit out of each other. And they didn't hold back either. No, Gunther, when it was time to chop Orton, he chopped Orton. He straight up knocked the shit, and Orton loved how he sold it over time. The first chop, Orton's like, okay, that stung a little bit. All right, I'm back. The next chop, Orton's like, ugh. Okay, now you pissed me off. And then you see the story, right, where he's eating the chops and he's getting more angry and angry. But then Gunther kept chopping him. And then Orton became a little bit more wheezy. And then he just stopped selling and he just fell. He just fell to the back. He's like, okay, that shit hurt. And you can tell it started to wear him down more and more as time went by. And I love that anytime Orton went for the RKO, the crowd popped. Jesus, just simple shit. They didn't need to go outside the box. And sometimes when you're able to do bare basics, superplex, leg lock, arm bar, Irish wrist, suplex, scoop slam, backbreaker, backdrop, headlock. If you're able, knife edge chop, back chop, if you're able to literally create an outstanding match with the bare basics, that goes to show you that you are the masters at your game. And even Gunther, like the most risky thing that we saw in this match was Gunther get on the top rope and do a splash. That's literally it. That's all he did. Now, like I said, outside the ending where Gunther had him pinned, but his shoulders was up, man, the rest of this match was just, it was a masterclass for how to do a wrestling match. And I would be calling this the match of the night if it wasn't for that ending. So the match of the night is still going to be the IC title match. But this is a close second. Wow. King of the Ring is Gunther. King Gunther 2024. And Gunther has now earned a world championship match at SummerSlam. So, currently, Drew McIntyre is set to face Damian Priest for that title in a couple of weeks, actually. It's not that far off. When is June 15th? Let me see. Someone find out when June 15th is. So, literally in 3 weeks. It's not that far from tonight. 3 weeks. Yeah. So, Drew McIntyre will take on Damian Priest. And spoiler alert, I think Drew's winning that belt. He's got to win it in his home country. He's got to win it in his home country. So, here's the thing, though. If we're bringing back the rematch clauses, that means Damian Priest gets a rematch for the title. That means he can be involved in that SummerSlam match. But that also means CM Punk will be involved. So now you got CM Punk, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, and Gunther. What a title picture for SummerSlam. Wow. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I'm excited for that. So yeah, like I said, you can get mad at the ending all you want. Ultimately, this match did what it needed to do. It established Gunther as a legit competitor, main eventer, that's going to go on to do great things for WWE in the future. And yes, spoiler alert, I do see Gunther. I think he has to. He has to be world champion at some point. Has to. And then the main event of the evening, Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. Not for the United States Championship, but only for the World Heavyweight Championship, the WWE Championship, if you will. The match was awesome. Look, I'm not going to shit on the match. I thought the match, in terms of the execution, in terms of the moves, in terms of the storytelling, in terms of Logan Paul getting in there and just being an absolute athletic freak, Cody doing what he does, getting the crowd involved, crowd participation, selling very well. I thought the match itself, in a vacuum, was an awesome match. I just feel like, despite the match being awesome, I still can't figure out what this was supposed to do. Other than just get Cody past Saudi Arabia. I don't know what the hell they're going to do with Cody until SummerSlam. So, the match was great. Logan Paul did his usual stuff. Love his... I really hate giving him compliments or telling anyone good things about him. I loved seeing him do that top rope dive. That top rope dive is... There's not a lot of people who can do that. And, well, first off, be safe with it, but also do it and make it look as pretty as Logan Paul does. So, I gotta give him credit, man. That top rope dive to the outside is a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty. And then, of course, Cody Rhodes is getting a lot of attention online and trending because he did the Vertebreaker. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vertebreaker was a move that was banned from WWE over 20 years ago. Think about what I just said. Not 10 years ago. Over 20 years ago. This move was banned before the pile driver. or being dropped in your head, period. Like, people were still doing the pile driver around that time. Yeah, this move got banned over 20 years ago. The fact that Cody Rhodes hit that move here, that is all the proof you need to know that this is a new era. Now, Cody didn't win with the move. He should have. But they protected it because Logan was down for like 10 seconds, 10 counts, and the referee was knocked out. So we're good. But it was the usual stuff. Logan Paul tries to cheat. He has the brass knucks. He hits Cody Rhodes with the brass knucks. Cody Rhodes kicks out. Cody Rhodes hits the 3. Crossroads, pins on 1, 2, 3. So, match was awesome. I'm not going to take anything away from the match. But I think we're now seeing a problem with Cody Rhodes as champ. Where, now that he's champion, and they built him up so much and made him so strong, we've run into a problem where there's not a lot of people who can believably take him on. You could have done Bobby Lashley, but Bobby Lashley's hurt. Right? So what do you do? Like, seriously, what do you do with Cody Rhodes now? Until The Rock comes back. Because I see people saying, okay, throw Randy Orton at him. Nah, look, Randy and Cody, that's a WrestleMania match. You don't do that at no SummerSlam. That's a WrestleMania match. You save that. What do you do with him? And I see people getting upset about, well, WWE isn't doing much with him. I'm like, what do you do with him? We've reached a point now where Cody Rhodes, he's done everything he could possibly do. And so, like I predicted when he won the belt at WrestleMania, he's now going to become the obstacle. And that's when fans began turning on him. Because there's not a lot of story to tell. I mean, you can send LA Knight after him, but if you send LA Knight after him, you already know LA Knight is going to be the babyface there. You could send... You can't send Bobby after him because Bobby's hurt. I don't know what you do. The fact that he fought Logan Paul tonight should let you know that there ain't much for him to do. Someone said Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is on Raw. Thank God, because I would have not liked to have seen that. I'm looking at the live chat. I'm literally looking at the live chat and going, what the hell do you do with Cody now? And this is why I was pushing, even though people didn't want to hear it, I was pushing for Cody Rhodes to hold off on winning this championship. Simply because, well, guys, like, he wins the title, you give him the moment, great. Hall of Famer, established. But we don't have anybody, so now we put Cody Rhodes in a position to where he's not going to be seen good or in a good light as a champion because we haven't built up enough people to believably beat him. Like, in all honesty, the next person in line to fight Cody Rhodes should be Drew McIntyre. And then after that, it should be CM Punk. Someone just said Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is nowhere near believable enough to beat Cody Rhodes. Again, just like Logan Paul, just like AJ Styles. Will the match be good? The match will be awesome. But do you honestly believe Cody could lose to a Kevin Owens? And Cody, look, Kevin's a babyface. We can turn him heel momentarily if you want. But even in that instance, Kevin's not beating no Cody. So, again, like, other than LA Knight and maybe an AJ Styles rematch, we're waiting until The Rock comes back. That's where we are with Cody. We're waiting until The Rock comes back. And then maybe The Rock beats Cody. But again, that's a maybe. Because then we run into another problem. Solo Sikoa's nowhere near ready to fight Cody. Someone said, no, he's not ready. So we run into another problem where, okay, so Cody now beats The Rock. Now who beats him? Because if we're doing Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania, which is what I think is going to happen, okay, we have another problem now. Who's gonna give Cody any kind of interest or a match that people will believe until WrestleMania? Again, you got Rock and Randy Orton. We're not doing Randy Orton until WrestleMania next year. Or check this out. We could do Rock at SummerSlam, Randy Orton at WrestleMania, or we'll flip it and do Randy Orton at SummerSlam and then Rock at, I don't know, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. But then the question is, if you have Cody beat both of them, because I don't see Rock is not going to beat Cody for that title. So, Cody beats Rock. I can also see Cody beating Randy Orton. I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, okay, whatever. I think a lot of people are blinded by the fact that he's over right now, and he's a fan favorite. They're not thinking long term. And it's going to hit him. I guarantee you. By the time we get to Survivor Series, it's going to hit him like a ton of bricks. Why are the fans booing Cody? It's the same reason they were booing John Cena. It's the same reason they were booing Roman Reigns. Sure, with Cody it's a bit different because fans were a lot more invested in Cody than they were in John Cena and Roman. But in this instance, I really just wish, and I'd be listening to Brian Gewirtz talk about this on Busted Open Radio, and they're talking about how, Cody winning this championship, it doesn't really feel like, Cody is, how do I put this? When you think about who the face of WWE is right now, like right now, if I say WWE, who's the face? Who comes to mind? It's Roman Reigns. Still Roman. And when Roman comes back, he's gonna be a bigger baby face than I guarantee you. He's going to be more over than Cody. He is more over than Cody. And if it's not Roman, it's The Rock. He doesn't really feel like that guy yet. Although, technically, honestly speaking, they're booking him like the guy. They're treating him like the guy. They want him to be that guy. But he doesn't feel like that guy yet. Not yet. I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping. Regardless, we're just going to be stuck with Cody until we get to The Rock. And then maybe they'll give the belt to The Rock and then we'll do something with that. I don't see it happening. I see Cody beating The Rock, and then we run into a whole new problem of, oh, shit, now what do you do with him? But that's just my thoughts. Thank you all for watching. We're going to go ahead and spend a little bit more time with the live chat. Live chat, you have the floor. What y'all in here talking about? How y'all feeling about tonight's show? And give me a grade. So give me a grade. A, of course, is the highest. A+ is the highest. F is the lowest. And give me a score from 1 to 10. 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. What do you grade this show? How are we feeling about this show? And I'm actually going to take a look at the community tab over here, because I want to see what y'all been saying in the community tab. I'm doing more and more, how do I say? Yeah, I'm doing a lot more with the community tabs to interact with my audience. So I would really appreciate you guys if you would participate in these polls a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to quickly go over here to the community tab. And we're going to take a look. I might actually pull this up. I'm going to pull this up, actually. And I'm seeing the scores already. But let me pull up the community tab. I want y'all to see what the overall score is. So I let you guys vote. And here we go. We only have like 152. That's going to be more. It's only been up for like an hour or so. It's not bad. But for the most part, everyone agrees with me. Good show. Good to great show. 76%. More people thought it was fantastic than okay and then bad. But yeah, that's a sign of a good show. So there you go. Like, I would really appreciate it if you guys participate in these more on the community tab, because that actually does help get more people in these live streams. So yeah, I appreciate y'all for being here and continuing to support the channel and, you know, getting involved with this stuff. Joe Arredondo says his birthday was yesterday. Well, happy birthday. Belated birthday, Joe Arredondo. Dwayne Sweetney gave the show 7 or an 8 out of 10. Man, pick one. Pick one, 7 or an 8. Joker from Persona 5 gave it a B+. Good. Jed B Sounds gave it an 8 out of 10. Okay, so about a B. JJ Bulldog said we could get heel John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. Wow. Not against that whatsoever. I would love that, actually. Sunset Jaden gave the show a B+, 8.5 out of 10. Ethan Zakar gave it a B. Pretty good show. Alright, people are liking the show. So I asked who should fight Cody Rhodes next, and a lot of people are saying John Cena. If you do John Cena and Cody Rhodes, you gotta turn Cena heel and have him beat Cody for that title. You got to. Otherwise, don't do it. Don't just have Cena come in there and just lose to Cody, because that's a problem. It's a problem. Let me see here. Catherine Tega says, Nia improved. Did hell freeze over? Yeah, I know. She got better. I don't know how. Jeez Louise. What if Cody got involved in Roman and Rock storyline and he turns on Roman in War Games? And we turn Cody heel? Something to think about. Alright. Triple H at least brings back... What? Brings back Yo John Cena Barbie doll pet project as a natural heel or as a different character because she is either boring or unnatural when it becomes Tobias. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Yo Pink Panther. Turn Cody Homelander. Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams says we want to see Homelander Cody. So do I. So do I. Sunset Jayden says he wants to see WWE merge with TNA. Interesting. Why? Why is that? I'm not getting a lot of pushback for my rant on Cody Rhodes, so I guess a lot of you agree. Yeah, Nia's good now, right, Samuel? Samuel M.E. says, why do I love Nia Jax now? Is there something wrong with me? No, because I like her too. And I was the biggest hater. And now I like her. So if I like her, don't feel bad. When Cody turns heel, he would legitimately be the guy. Well, yeah, that's the point. When Cody turns heel, I feel like we're going to get Cody as he is, as he should be. Right? And I think in that role, Cody would do awesome. It's hard to tell when Cody Rhodes for his next opponent because the amount of superstars who are on the injury list. That, but also, even if you had people who weren't injured, there aren't a lot of people who are built up to beat Cody right now. And that's a fact. Period. Well, you're going to have Ivar fight Cody? Even Bobby Lashley. You have to build him up. You know? I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go. Thank you for tuning into my live stream for King and Queen of the Ring. I will be back up here tomorrow night for another pay-per-view. AEW Double or Nothing, the 5th anniversary of AEW. Excited about that. So as you follow out, do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. SeatGeek. Once again, 20% off any ticket purchase for any ticket purchase. Music, concerts, wrestling, sports. Just Alyx. Use it. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. And I'm going to get out of here because apparently I am tired and I need to get some rest. But thank you all for what you do. And as always, you are welcomed right here in Alyx's world. The place it is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Peace. When you're when you're